Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Nerbonis and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I have the pleasure of hosting a Facebook and YouTube and Instagram page called Lauren's Scraplot where I share lots of fun ideas for you. I have a free YouTube video every Tuesday at noon, and then I run classes that you can either attend here in person in Edmonton, Alberta, or that I can make to-go kits for you and you'll get a private video link. So this video is a little different. It is made for those of you who are wondering what is going to be retiring from our annual catalog. Now it is March 2024 currently. On April 9th, 2024, the items that are retiring and going on sale from this annual catalog will go live on my website. So that's laurenerbonis.stampinup.net. You can shop while supplies last, and you're able to get all the discounted prices that I'm going to show you in this catalog. However, if you go on my site right now, you should be able to see if you click on something that you're interested in, whether it's retiring or not. However, discounted prices for some of those items do not start until April 9th. So if we're gonna go through the catalog together, and if you see something that you like and it's not actually going to be discounted, go ahead and order it now. If you order through my website, you do get little treats depending on whether you're placing a $35, $100, or $200 order. And for those $200 orders, of course, you are eligible for Stampin' Up! Hostess Rewards, which is a minimum $20 shopping spree. So if you have not shopped with me before and you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, because I do want to make sure that you get the benefits you're entitled to. But this video is for you guys because I didn't want you to have to go through the PDF and sort through all of those things. So before we start, here is the cover of the new annual catalog. This will be starting March 1st, 2024. And if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada and you need one, please let me know right away. I am more than happy to send you a copy of this catalog. But if you would like to follow along with me, I'm going to go through this page by page and show you what's retiring, and I'll tell you the discounted prices. So make sure you've got a pen or a highlighter handy and you're willing to mark up your catalog. I'm also going to do a separate video for the mini catalog. So that is, sorry, it's still hiding because I actually haven't gone through it yet. That is going to be this catalog as well, which we have lots of retiring products from. I'm going to do that in a separate video. So if you're interested, cozy in and let's get going. Okay, so opening up the pages, we're going to start on page 14. So I am going to go kind of quick because, as you can see, we have a billion pages to get through. Not quite a billion, but I'm going to go through and I will tell you what's retiring, and then if something is staying, then I'll make a comment about that as well. I will say that for any bundles that we see are not retiring, please remember that that 10% discount price that you see is not going to continue into the next catalog. Those items will be split up and you'll be able to purchase them individually. I'll talk about that when we get to one of those examples. But currently we are on page 14, and from this page we are retiring basically this vellum paper up in the top, the stamp set for beautiful balloons, and the dies are retiring. However, I could not find the paper on the list, the bright and beautiful paper, so I am going to assume it is staying. Or in some cases, because I haven't fully scoured my new catalog, some things may just simply be moving into our online exclusive store because Stampin' Up! Has a product maybe that they're going to tie these in with later, or another idea. So some items that are listed as staying, you might not end up seeing them in the next catalog, but they'll be available on my online store. If you click on that, click shop, and then type in online exclusives, you'll be able to see a whole bunch of things that are not actually in print, but that Stampin' Up! Has come out with limited edition, or they're tying it in to something fun. So continuing on, page 16, we're saying goodbye to carousel horses, stamp, and dies. On the next page, we are saying goodbye to Circle Saying stamp set, but this punch, and that is the 2 3/8 inch punch, that will be staying. Okay, so that one, for instance, I couldn't find it in the next catalog, so it will be moving to an online exclusive product, but I'm glad because we need circle punches and I don't want that disappearing. Continuing to page 18, we're saying goodbye to the Charming Sentiments stamp set and also the Lazy Days stamp set and bundle. I know, you're probably getting sad already because we're saying goodbye to lots of things, but keep in mind there are lots of good new things coming and we can't keep everything. We're going to go to page 20 and we're saying goodbye to Sweetest Cherries, seasonal branches, and of course the dies that go with that. On to page 22, we have hit the first thing that Stampin' Up! Is offering a sale on. So Dainty Delight is going to disappear. Stampin' Up! Will be giving you a 30% discount on this stamp on April 9th. So that lowers the price to $23.80. So please keep in mind, if you're putting in an order now, any of the things that I've talked about before this, no discounts were being offered. So I would suggest ordering them as soon as possible because you don't want them to disappear. Everything's while supplies last. If you see a sale that you like, save this and make that order first thing on April 9th, or message me. If you message me your order and your address and everything, I am going to be staying up and I will be putting in orders at midnight on April 9th so that I get those sales for you guys. I cannot guarantee that the items won't have run out ahead of that date, but if it's still available and you're in Edmonton and you can pick up from me, then it's better to share shipping with my order. Or if you're somewhere else, I am also more than happy to help you with an order too, okay? So start a list, write down what you want, because it's a great way for you to get discounts on some things you might have been eyeing up or to complete your sets. We're going to keep this Hope You Know. So if you haven't guessed, this cross through my image is what I'm referring to as disappearing. So this one has no marking. We're going to keep that. Handmade Hugs is disappearing. X. We're on page 24. We're going to say goodbye to Nature's Prince and goodbye to Lighting the Way. We're also saying goodbye to Color and Contour. Lots of X's here. Page 26, goodbye to Sending Smiles, goodbye to Pansy Patch. We are on page 28, super cool, we're saying goodbye, but you can get it at 50% off, so it works out to $14 if you would like to buy it on April 9th. We're going to say goodbye to So Refreshing and the bundle. On page 30, this is a huge suite that we're saying goodbye to the entirety of. However, the paper you can order at 50% off, so it will be $8.50, and these little gems you can get at 10% off, making them $8.10. We're saying goodbye to Let's Go Shopping stamp set and bundle as well. On to page 32, this has been a favorite for a few years, and it is unfortunately disappearing, so let's say goodbye to the Sweet Citrus stamp set. That one is discounted 20%, so you could get it for $25.60 if you haven't already. And on the page 33 here, we're going to say goodbye to Good Feelings. Yeah, I know. All right, moving on here. So page 34, we're keeping this one, so don't stress about that one, but we are going to say goodbye to Two Tone Flora. So Xing out of that guy. On page 36, we are keeping everything. Yay! But page 37, we're saying goodbye to Petal Park, and that one is going to be $19.20 on April 9th for you. So again, I know I'm going really fast, but all you have to do is just like a quick X or maybe like put a star or something if you want to come back to it. On page 38, we're saying goodbye to Very Best Occasions and Apple Harvest. This one's being discounted by 60%, so if you like apples, or maybe you need a teacher card for the future, $13.20 is a steal of a deal for a stamp set, and you could grab that. And then we're going to say goodbye to Cottage Wreaths on page 39. On page 40, we're going to say goodbye to Season of Chic, but we are keeping the items on page 41. This is the first bundle that we have run into that is going to be carrying over. So I would like to take this moment to remind you that the 10% discount that's offered on this bundle will no longer exist in the next catalog. You will instead be able to purchase the stamp set and the dies at full price. So if you like this bundle and you're thinking, hey, I was mulling it over, I was considering it, maybe it is a good idea to still buy it now because you can get a 10% discount instead of waiting, and then you'll have to pay those full prices, and some of our prices are going up. So I'll be posting more about that on my Facebook and Instagram later to try and walk you through and prepare you for it. But most of the things that are going up are consumables, so papers, adhesives, that sort of stuff. But our punches are going up by $3 a piece, and naturally stamps and dies are all priced differently. So I think those prices kind of naturally go up too. Moving on to page 42. Oh, my Christmas. Sorry. No, I'm tired. Okay, we're saying goodbye to Regal Reindeer, and we're saying goodbye to Brightest Glow Stamp Set and Perched in a Tree. These guys were cuties who carried over from a holiday catalog, but that's okay. Makes me excited for the next holiday catalog. On page 44, we are saying goodbye to Ringed with Nature. That will be offered at a 40% discount, so you can have it for $19.20 if you haven't gotten this one already. And this little house, if you need anything for housewarming cards, this is a really cute house to have in your stash. We also have the Celebrate with Tags stamp set on the next page. That will be discounted by 50%, so you can get it for $16 if you do still want or need that one. On to Zoo Crew, which was so fun and cute. I really like this one. Okay, sorry, I forgot to add that. Zoo Crew paper, ribbon, and bundles are all disappearing. Please ignore some of my things I do already have writing in my catalog, because I go through and I write the price with shipping and tax. So this has nothing to do with the discount here. They're not offering a discount on the dies, but they are offering a discount on the ribbon bundle. You can save 40% and get that for $8.25. If you are on now page 48, we're going to keep that set, but we're saying goodbye to what's on page 49, and that is the Hey Chuck stamp set and the bundle for that. Next, we're going to say goodbye to these poor little Easter bunnies, but oh my goodness, 50% off. So you could get this set for $13 is probably a good idea. So if you haven't bought it, which I haven't bought it, I think I'm going to grab it for $13 because I will need bunnies in the future and little Easter projects. So I'm going to end up probably still ordering this one, even though it's retiring. And then we're also saying goodbye to Happy Labels. Again, great discount for a set that has a lot of sentiments and is easy to add to whatever you're working on. You can get that for $16.50. And we're going to say goodbye to Silly Goose, which will be also offered at 50% off. So you could get that for $17. Carrying on to page 52, if you've kind of lost me here, we are saying goodbye to Taco Fiesta, which makes me really sad because I'm actually going to Mexico at the end of April, and this would have been such a fun set to use for like some of my little scrapbooking pieces after, but I can still use the set. It's just not going to be current anymore, so it's okay. And we're also saying goodbye to the little monkey stamp and the punch that goes with that, as well as the Biggest Wish stamp set on the next page. So basically everything on this spread is going to disappear. On page 54, we're saying goodbye to Hello Kiwi, and you can get that for $14 if you need to add some fruit to your collection. The Share a Milkshake, you can get for $13. And I think that's a pretty good deal because this was a really cute set. And even for nothing else, Valentine's sentiments are hard to come by sometimes. And I've used this celebrate word quite often. So even just to have the potential of those phrases for future cards, I would suggest going ahead and grabbing this one because it's a nice option for you to have later. If you need the phrases for all, it's going to be offered at 50% off, so you can get it for $14.50. And then we're moving on to page 56, where we are going to disappear this Friendship Royalty stamp, as well as the Little Dreamers stamp set and dies. On page 58, we're saying goodbye to Hello Ladybug, Happy Hedgehogs, and Sweet Songbirds. So goodbye, all of my fun little critters who have matching punches. We will be saying goodbye to those, and I'll show you those later on in the book. On this page 60, we're going to keep playing in the rain, which is great. I have a vested interest in this one. I got to actually present for Stamping Up at a Vancouver conference when it first was released. So this is just like fond memories in my heart and has a prominent place on my shelf. I have done so many projects with it. And if you go to my YouTube channel, Lauren Scraplot, you'll be able to go and find lots of ideas that I have shown you with this set. So that's just a little caveat on that. But anyways, everyday thanks we're going to say goodbye to. We're also going to say goodbye to By My Side. On page 62, this is an oddity to me, but we are actually keeping this countryside paper. We don't often have paper carrying over. I pretty much just always tell everyone, get the paper you like, even if the bundle's carrying over, because chances are you won't be able to get the paper again. But for some reason, this one's carrying over. And who knows what they're going to come up with for us to play with it. So you can keep this in mind, but we're saying goodbye to the embossing folder where you can get 40% off, and it would be $7.05. We're also saying goodbye to the Countryside Corners stamp set. However, the dies are going to be carrying over. So those Countryside Corners dies, going to move on. Maybe there'll be a different stamp that coordinates with them, but regardless, they're great shapes and I like to have them. So I'm glad they're staying. On page 64, we're going to say goodbye to Lasting Joy. You can get this at 50% off, so it would be $14. Again, a really good stamp set with beautiful fonts and scripts if you need some sentiments. We are going to keep this bundle, so let's continue on. We don't need to mark him off. And on page 66, we're saying goodbye to Quiet Meadow, as well as Timeless Arrangements, Stamp, and Dies. On page 68 and 69, we are also saying goodbye to everything. So goodbye, Darling Details, Stamp, and Bundle, as well as Just My Type. On to the next page, page 70. Earth and Elegance was a beautiful suite, and I had so much fun with this one. Unfortunately, it also will be moving on, so you can get the paper at 10% off, making it $15.30. This gorgeous wavy trim ribbon. I really liked this stuff, and I was hoping that it was staying, but it's not. So maybe I'll have to stock up at 10% off, making it $8.77. It was just such an easy add-on to my projects. You can see it in action right here, and it's just so pretty. Earth and Textures, Stamp, and Dies are going. We're on to page 72. We are going to keep this top set, and this bottom set, Hope and Prayer, is going to disappear. So cross that one out. Also, Places in the Heart. We're going to say goodbye to that beautiful set as well. On page 74, we are saying goodbye to the Time Together Stamp and Bundle. And then the Country Bouquet, again, oh my gosh, 60% off. This one, you can kind of take or leave the stamps depending on what you want. But if you need a Valentine's Day or For You, I Love You, With Love, all great sentiments to add to tiny little spots on cards. So I like to look for stamp sets that have these and keep them in my stash, because often I'll be working on something and I'm like, I just need a sentiment that fits on this tiny tag, that fits in this occasion. And I find we go through ups and downs of having sentiments for Valentine's or for emotion sets. So these guys, amazing for little tags. These guys, amazing for thinking of yous, loves yous, that sort of things. So for $12.80, again, maybe just add it to your collection. Then we're going to say goodbye on page 76 to Everlasting Beauty. Sorry. You get me, good and bad. Yawning through this, I have worked on scouring the PDF, which is super tiny, but I did enlarge it on my computer, transferring it into my catalog here for you for the last couple hours. So, sorry, just a second. What's up, buddy?
How many do we need? I don't get what this guy means.
Okay, let's do a different, it's 1 plus 2. So if you have 1 plus 2, how many do you have?
This one.
Yes. So that number you need.
Pieces of chicken.
But I can't do this with you right now. So you do something else and we'll do it together after.
2.
Sorry. Spring break. Yay. Okay. 76 still. We're on Here's to Love is Going to Stay. And so it's kind of expressions. So that's good. Now onto our fishing collection. We're saying goodbye to the paper and the embossing folder, which you can get for a discount at $11. But we're going to actually be keeping these 2 items, the dies and the stamp set. So again, buy it now if you want that 10% discount, or you can buy it later and they'll just be separate. On page 80 and 81, we're saying goodbye to all of these little cute sets. They were really fun, and there'll be something else coming out in the future. For page 82, we are going to say goodbye to the Next Destination stamp. You can get it 50% off, so $16.50 if it was something you're mulling over. And then we're going to say goodbye to the other sets, Sweet and Precious, and He's All That. On page 84, we are saying goodbye to Oceanfront and Wild and Sweet, but we're going to keep this Grassy Grove. There's actually a really, really cute set that has kind of a very similar feel and that you can kind of interchange with this bundle coming out in the next catalog, and I'm really excited to play with that one. On page 86, this one makes me sad because I was just in Houston and I went to the Space Center and it was so fun, but this suite is being discontinued. You can get the paper though at 40% off, and oh goodness, I am going to be stocking up on this one because without fail, I work on projects and they have like 2 sheets of stars and night skies on them. This one has stars or a galaxy scene of some sort on pretty much every single page on one of the sides. There's only 2 of them that are just full of planets instead, but I have used so many of these sheets for just night skies when I'm doing other bundles and other scenes. So stock up on some of these because you will be so happy to have those starry scenes, and you can get them at a great price right now. The holographic paper is discontinuing, so is Reach for the Stars stamp and dies. So if you have an astronaut lover, maybe grab this one for them before it goes away. On to 88. We're going to say goodbye to On the Ocean, but we are keeping these other 2 sets, which is really fun. This one was one of our celebration add-ons, so you might have been lucky enough to get it as a freebie, and it's actually $36 and carrying over, so there's going to be more ideas for you to use with it. On to page 90, we're saying goodbye to the Fun on Wheels stamp set and dies. So that one's a nice outdoor set if you need it, but we're going to keep Crafting with You, which is great because it's a very nice crafting set for those of us who like cards for our teams or fellow crafters. On page 92, this Enjoy the Rhythm you can get for $14.50, which is so great, especially if you have a music lover in your life. So maybe consider grabbing that. And then my poor husband is going to have to say goodbye to Brewed for You and Level Complete. He's a beer maker and a gamer. So luckily I've purchased both of those sets and probably can't really let them go. But that's okay. We enjoyed them. On page 94, we're saying goodbye to the entirety of this suite. So the paper you can get at 20% off for $13.60. Saying goodbye to that ribbon, as well as the stamp set and coordinating punches. On page 96, we're going to say goodbye to the In the Moment stamp set up here, but we are keeping this leaf one, which is nice, but we're saying goodbye to Go To Greetings. This makes me sad because this was one of my favorite stamp sets to suggest to anyone starting out, because it had kind of 4 really common sentiments, but in 3 different sizes. And so it was very versatile. I could use it on different projects, different tags, and it was really nice. So if you don't have it and you're just starting out, maybe grab it because it was a really, really good one to have. But that being said, it's been around for a few years and maybe there'll be something else similar coming out. But on page 98, we're saying goodbye to Bottled Happiness, as well as the Bold Bouquet bundle on the next page. On page 100, we're going to say goodbye to the Wildlife Wonder, as well as the Scenic Wonders. If you liked this scene, you can get it for $18 at 50% off. And then the Seaside Bay, oh my goodness, this was another good one that I really liked. So it is at 50% off and it's $18 and it's beautiful. It's got so many pretty stamps. So it's a nice one if you love the ocean. On page 102 and 103, we are saying goodbye to pretty much everything, except I didn't see a mention of these sequins unless I missed them somewhere, but I think they're actually carrying over. But we're saying goodbye to the paper and then the stamp and bundle as well. On page 104, we are going to say goodbye to Vertical Blooms. So that one you could get for $13 if you still wanted to have it. And Days to Remember. This is a really nice one if you're somebody who likes to, do a lot of journaling or perhaps some mini scrapbooks. Might be one that you like because it has all the months of the year. And then we're going to actually keep the one that's on page 105 so we can continue on past that. Now on page 106 and 107, we're saying goodbye to everything. They do all have discounts though. So you can get Marvelous Nature for $21.60, Botanical Leaves for $12.80, or Your Path Awaits for $16.50. On page 108, we're going to say goodbye to the Love for You stamp set. You can get that at 50% off, and I do believe the dies are discounted as well, so might be able to get like a full bundle for a really good price. And Enchanted Butterfly. This one you can get for 40% off, so it's a $19.80 stamp if you still want it. Now, the Fresh as a Daisy on page 110. We are luckily going to keep the stamp and dies. So the only thing we're saying goodbye to is the coordinating paper, which if you love the stamp and dies or you own the stamp and dies, maybe grab yourself an extra package of this because it's really disheartening to have a set carryover and then you see all these samples that people have made with it, but they've used the designer paper because it's so suited to it and we don't have the designer paper anymore. So maybe grab a package and there's coordinating gems that you can get at 40% off, which is really, really fun. On page 112, we're going to keep that bundle, which is great. But the Waves of Inspiration stamp set, we will say goodbye to for the next catalog. Now on page 114, we're going to say goodbye to Artistically Inked and Prized Plant and Softly Sketched. We do have one discount on here for Prized Plant. If you want it at 50% off, you can get it for $14. On to 116, we're saying goodbye to Around the Bend and Alpha Best. Those guys are both going to disappear. Again, another fun one if you like writing names on things, then you might want to consider grabbing that before it disappears. But I do think there's a new alphabet one coming out. It just might not be as small. Okay, on page 118, we have quite a bit because there's a lot of stamps on here. So we're going to say goodbye to Berry Harvest. You can get that one for $14. We're saying goodbye to It's in the Stars, Rays of Light, Spiral Die, and Timeless Tiles. Timeless Tiles also is on sale, so you could get it for $15 if you want it. If you're asking why are some things on sale and some things aren't, it's usually because of inventory. So if Stampin' Up! Has a ton of the Berry Harvest stamp sets left, they're going to offer a bigger discount so they don't have to store them for a clearance sale later on. Okay, so if they only have a few of something left, they're probably going to just ask full price and hope that it moves. We're going to move on to page 119 and say goodbye to Snow Crystal, which is very sad because it was a very, very nice background set, but it is 50% off. So it's $14.50 and it's a really nice background stamp to have for winter cards and very easy to make a whole whack of cards with it. Perfectly detailed. I know it's a little shiny and blurry there, but you could get it for $13.60 if you were interested in that one. Keeping going. Okay, surprises, not so big on this page. I am on page 122, and I'm happy to report that there are no colors retiring except for the ones that we knew would be disappearing. So whenever we have in colors, these are listed as 2022 to 2024. We know they are only here for 2 years. They may show up again in the future in a color revamp, but we had a color revamp last year, and Stampin' Up! Usually doesn't do those for another 5 years. Okay, so that I'm happy to report only these 5 colors are disappearing. Those are already disappearing. The paper, ink, refills, none of that is on sale. So if you want it, order it now, because I went to order a refill for somebody and unfortunately they were already gone for Parakeet Party. So the only thing that you have to keep in mind for these 5 colors is the blends are going to be on sale on April 9th. So if you're interested in the blends, those can be purchased at 40% off. So they're $8.25 a pair, and that is a very nice perk if you're missing any of these 5 blends. But if you need cardstock and if you need ink and ink refills, order it now. They will disappear. Okay, nothing else on these pages are disappearing. Everything's going to stay the same for the next catalog. We will have 5 new in colors, and I'll start posting about those in April. And we get 1 additional color coming out in this Basics collection. We're going to have something called Basic Beige, and it's nice. It's really cute, and it's kind of a nice, subtle, beige color that we have been missing, I think, from the Neutrals collection. So I'm glad they didn't bump anything out to make room for it. They're just adding it into the Basics. On to page 124, nothing to report. On 125, we're going to say goodbye to anything that involves those retiring colors. So we do have markers. The marker set for those retiring colors is actually going to be 50% off. This is the new core colors. Okay, so when Stampin' Up! Offered new colors last year, they gave us the option of buying a group of the markers, just the markers that came as new in colors or new colors. So if you missed out on that set, all of the colors in it are still going to carry on. They're just not going to offer us that discount or deal anymore. So they're 50% off for $27.50, and they would include all of the colors that got added to our collection. So like Bubble Bath, and what else came? Azure Afternoon. We had, I don't even remember, Pecan Pie. Whatever new colors got added into the mix last year, you can still get their Stampin' Up! Marker. And then the 2022 to 2024 in colors, so the large cardstocks in the 12 by 12s, the ink pad collection, the re-inker collection, and their markers. The markers are the only thing they're offering at a discount, so you could get those for $12.50. Everything else is discontinuing, but not being offered at a discount just for those in colors. Everything else is fine. and will stay the same. On to page 126. Here we are saying goodbye to quite a bit of stuff. So the cellophane bags are disappearing. Those are going to be offered at a 10% discount, so they're $6.75. You can say goodbye to the in color treat bags. You can get them at 30% off for $9.62. We're saying goodbye to these envelope treat boxes, which are sad because they were really cute, but they're 40% off. So if you liked them, you could grab a bunch for $6.60. Keeping the gift card box, keeping the window sheets, keeping the watercolor paper. This one, I am assuming we're just getting a new supplier because the vellum cardstock is listed on my retiring list. However, when I look in the new catalog, they do have vellum. So what I'm guessing is they're just switching suppliers. And I think we're going to see that because some of the very vanilla stuff's disappearing too. But again, it's back in the new catalog. So I think when they switch suppliers, they just tried to sell out of the old stock. And then we're able to just go with the new supplier for the next catalog. Okay, so don't be sad about vellum. It's going to continue, just not probably from the same supplier, or maybe they're refiguring the package. I haven't looked at numbers or anything yet. On page 127, here is a lot of specialty paper that we're saying goodbye to. Basically, I think the only thing we're keeping is gold foil sheets from this page. So holographic paper, you don't get a discount, but it is discontinuing. The white centered specialty paper, you can get 50% off, so it is $7.87. Rose gold specialty paper, you can get a 10% discount, making it $12.37. The textured shimmer paper you can get for $8.25. The More Dazzle paper is discontinuing. That's this one here, but it's not being offered at a discount. The soft shimmer paper not being offered at a discount. Again, probably just because they don't have a lot left, so they're not going to give a discount on it. But the textured specialty paper you can get at 50% off, making it $7.50. And the in color specialty paper you can get at 30% off, making it $10.50. Or hold on, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, it does. It does. And distressed gold. That one was really pretty. That one here. It's discontinuing, but not discounted. Okay, on to designer series paper. So, like I mentioned, I didn't see Bright and Beautiful anywhere on any lists, but I haven't seen it in the new catalog, so I'm guessing it's going online. Countryside Inn is carrying on. Again, kind of fun. But we're going to say goodbye to the Delightfully Eclectic Mega Package. This one had, how many sheets? 48 sheets in it. You can get that whole package at 50% off for $20.50 if you're interested. And then on to page 130 to 131, we're saying goodbye to all the paper. So I will just go through the discounts you can get on them. You can get a 10% discount on Earth and Elegance, making those packages $15.30. You can get 20% off on Fresh as a Daisy, so $13.60. You can get 20% off the Glorious Gingham, making them $11.60. You can get 20% off Inked Botanicals, making them $13.60. You do not get a discount on Let's Go Fishing, but you certainly could grab some of those papers because remember that bundle is carrying on, so you might want to have this paper to use in the future. The Les Shops, we have a 50% discount on this one, so you could get them for $8.50. And then on page 132 and 133, again, saying goodbye to all of these, so let's just go over the discounts. We can get 30% off Masterfully Made, making this $11.90. Stargazing, this was that one with all the beautiful stars on it. You can get 40% off, making it $10.20. On Zoo Crew, there is no discount, but they were really cute, and the backs of these are all black and white, so they make a really easy palette for you to use for future cards. The in-color collections, again, we always get rid of these. So different discounts on the 2023 to 2025 packages. They work out to $8.50. Sorry, I didn't put the percentages. And the 2022 to 2024, you can get that for $10.20. So I'm guessing this was a 50% and a 40% discount, I think, because they were originally $17. Again, these $17 family color family packages have been discounted just slightly. So you can get the brights for $15.30, neutrals for $15.30, regals for $11.90, and subtles for $13.60. So just slight discounts, probably 10, 20, and 30%, but every little bit helps, especially since all these colors are still carrying over, just there will be new fun patterns in designer paper for them. The gold celebrations paper here, no discount, but that was going to be discontinuing. And the vellum basics designer series paper, you can get 40% off here, making that $8.25. Now moving on to page 134 and 135, just a few things on here. So we're saying goodbye to the Bright and Beautiful Memories and More. You can get that at 30% off, making it $8.22. And the coordinating cards and envelopes are 40% off, so they'd just be $9. We are saying goodbye to the basic white 3x3 envelopes. Again, kind of shocking to me, so I'm just fingers crossed that we're just switching manufacturers for those because I like that size. We're saying goodbye to the craft note cards and envelopes. You can get 10% off those if you did love using them, and they would be $12.37. This one is a fun set because you get 20 cards and envelopes and you get a little craft box. So it's nice if you want to make a set to gift to someone. It's a very easy kind of all-in-one kit. Now here's where I mentioned we're disappearing some of our very vanilla stuff like the medium envelopes and the note cards. So again, to me, that probably is just the fact that we're switching manufacturers with something because very vanilla is not a color that's disappearing and they must just be working with that. Okay, so we still have white, but vanilla may be something switching or they're changing. Sometimes if they change the dye lot on things too, then they have to sell out of the old one. Now on page 136, we're going to say goodbye to just these decorative masks here in the bottom. So the artistic mask set you can get on sale for 10% off, making it $12.37. Or the 4 square right here, and that would be 40% off, making it $8.25. And then also from here, we're saying goodbye to the heat and stick powder. So it's 30% off, making it $5.77. Now, again, this is why I don't like people looking at the PDF because you get worried. It says the Stampin' Up! Embossing powder, like, groups are disappearing. So, again, I haven't fully scoured my new catalog, but that means these metallics and black and white and clear, they are not disappearing, just the grouping of them being sold all together is disappearing. Okay, so don't stress. Even if you see something on a retiring list, it might not mean the products are retiring. It might mean like the bundle of them together is retiring. And I kind of prefer that because I go through my black and white a lot faster than I go through my clear. So I don't actually like to buy all 3 of them together. On page 137, there was nothing to note. Those are all carrying over. Same with all your adhesives. The only thing we're going to start with is page 139, where we are saying goodbye to lots and lots of embellishments coming up. So, iridescent shaker circles, these guys right here, you can get them for $6.82. The round and square brads, you can get them for $5.85, 30% off, 40% off. And these loose silver sequins are 10% off, so you can get them for $8.10. And the loose daisy embellishments, those ones were fun, but you can get them for 40% off for $5.85. On page 140, we are saying goodbye to the iridescent pastel gems. Those are going to be 40% off, making them $6.60. We're saying goodbye to these festive pearls right here, and that would be 30% off, making them $6.82. And number 11, these iridescent rhinestones, which I actually really liked because you got a whole whack of them. They're 40% off, so $6.15, probably something I'm going to stock up on because they're just really, really easy to use on my projects. So those are the only 3 on that page. On the next page, we're going to say goodbye to the rustic metallic dots. Those are 20% off. They're good for masculine cards. I really do like having them. The classic matte dots, those are 40% off, so you can get them for $5.85. And these brushed metallics, oh, that makes me sad, because whenever I made Christmas cards with like a Christmas door handle, these were the perfect doorknob. So 20% off at $9.80. Probably just going to grab myself a sheet because they make really pretty door handles. And a number 6, here we go. These are our in color dots. We have to say goodbye to those because we're saying goodbye to, no, we're not saying goodbye to those in colors, but I'm guessing there'll be something new and exciting. So that's okay. These are 10% off, so they're $9.90. Opaque ovals, we're going to say goodbye at 40% off, and you can have them for $6.15. The pastel adhesive back sequins right here, number 10. These are 40% off, so you can get them for $6.60. The gold leafing, 40% off, so it's $7.35. And basically, if you buy a jar of this, you will probably never run out of it, so you can buy 1 jar and be good. Vintage bottles, these are really cute, but we're saying goodbye to the punch and the stamp already, so there's no point keeping these. They are 40% off, so you can have them for $6.60 if you want to stock up. On to ribbons. Pretty much saying goodbye to most everything, so except for the pool party one, that one's staying. So we're going to just go through the discounts. So 20% off for the herringbone, so it's $9.40. 40% off for balmy blue variegated, which makes it $7.35. 40% off for double stitched, which is $5.85. The red and green, great for Christmas, is 30% off, so you can have it for $7.17. And the Night of Navy is 40% off, so you can have it for $7.35. We're going with these textured ribbons, and again, in colors, but probably something new coming out. And they're all at different discounts. So the Wild Wheat is $6.60, Copper Clay is $8.80, Moody Mauve is $6.60, Boho Blue is $6.60, and Pebbled Path is $7.70. So there are slight discounts because they were all $11 originally, but they all vary just to make life fun. The Real Red and Burlap, you can have a 40% discount, making it $7.35. And the Misty Moonlight braided ribbon is 30% off at $7.70. This black and white gingham is just 10% off at $8.77. The pecan pie bordered ribbon is retiring, but with no discount, so they must not have a lot left. And the sheer ribbon combo pack, kind of reminds me of like Easter colors right now, is 30% off for $11.90. On page 144, I did see this one on that list, but it wasn't discounted. Okay. Oh, and this one. This one is okay, so Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. I remember seeing that on the page. There was no discount on it. The Ribbon Duo was part of the Zoo Crew pack, and there was a discount on this one. So let me just look. Page 46. I missed that, sorry. See, I'm only human. There's things that I miss. That one is 40% off. 40%. So it's $8.25 for that guy. The metallic woven ribbons, these are all our retiring colors. They're all 40% off, so you can get them for $7.35 a roll. The golden vanilla edged ribbon is 40% off at $6.60. Silver thread twine is 40% off at $6.60. The natural wave trim, this is the one I love, is only 10% off at $8.77, but it's a really nice one to have. Simply Elegant trim is being discontinued without a discount. Keeping these two, and then moving on to the In Color Baker's Twine pack. They are offering you that at 50% off, so it would only be $10.50. You guys are doing well, okay? I know, we're getting to the end. Nothing to report on that page. Let's go to page 147. Okay, on this page here, saying goodbye to the inked and tiled punch pack. You can get it for 20% off, making it $44. Saying goodbye to the little monkey builder punch and the banners pick-a-punch. There's no discount on those, but they are both being discontinued. On page 148, let's start at the top here. So that country bouquet set, this one was 50 or 60% off the stamp set, and you can get 50% off the punch. So this punch is only $15. The dragonfly punch is $15. We're saying goodbye to lasting label. Handmade tag, you can get 20% off, making it $24. The Easter bunny is $24, which is 20% off. The cloud punch is 50% off, making it $15. We're saying goodbye to the decorative circle punch and the double oval punch. The only two that we're keeping are the bow and the elegant edge tag topper. On the next page on 149, we're going to get a 50% discount on this very best trio. So that's $16.50. And then we're getting 50% discounts all over the mark on the cherry builder, the songbird, the hedgehog, the sailboat, and the vintage bottle. Those all are $15 instead of $30 if you would like them. The ladybug builder is 40% off, so you can get it for $18. And that teeny tiny best label punch is $16.80. So 30% off. The only one you're keeping is this Petal Park, and it's actually one of the only ones that I don't have on this page. I found that out about a month ago when somebody asked to borrow it to punch a couple flowers, and I was like, I don't own it. So now that I know it's carrying over, I will grab it. Now here's a fun but sad little page. Okay, so Stampin' Up! Is discontinuing 3 of their blocks. So I'm going to show you the ones that they're discontinuing. I think it's just to reduce the amount of inventory they have lying around, but I really like all my blocks in all of my different sizes, so I'm still going to use them. Here's block A, great for teeny tiny little flowers, so I don't get ink all over the block. Block G, where's that one? Sorry, I'm looking through my stash. Block G. Here we go. Ooh, another good one. This one I love. Okay, this is one of my like go-tos for sentiments. They're discontinuing block G and block I. What is block I? Okay. I will say I don't use this one as much, but I still do sometimes. Block I. So if you're somebody who owns past Stampin' Up! Sets, maybe grab these blocks before they disappear, because it's just nice to have the potential, and it's kind of better to have them than not. I think Stampin' Up's just trying to minimize the amount of things that they're storing in their warehouses so they can make room for the online exclusives, which was something they didn't have before. And probably they've said their annual catalogs are getting a little smaller, so their mini catalogs are getting a bit bigger. Just maybe grab the blocks, because you should, and you should have them because I love them. And then they're gonna discontinue the storage block caddy because they don't have all the different sizes for it anymore. So maybe they'll come out with something modified in the future. Next, no changes here. Okay. We're almost done. Okay, page 155. We are going to start with the Beautiful Balloons dies. You can get those for 10% off at $42.30. The Bold Bouquet dies you can get at 50% off at $19.50, so that's a really good deal. And the Carousel horses are discontinued at no discount. On the next page, 156, we are only saying goodbye to the Darling Details dies right here. So that's okay. Everything else on that page is staying. On page 157, we're saying goodbye to Earth and Textures. So that is $38.40. Fun on Wheels, we're saying goodbye at 40% off, which makes it only $24 for really cute bicycles. You don't even necessarily have to have the stamp. You can build the bike just on its own. The Gorgeously Made dies are going to be 20% off, making them $35.20. Now on page 158, we're going to say goodbye to Hey Chuck. That one is going to be 20% off, making it $35.20. The Lazy Days dies are going to be $37. The Let's Go Shopping dies are $32, which is a 20% discount. And the Little Dreamers dies with that cute little elephant, I love elephants, are going to be 10% off at $35.10. So everything on that page is going. On the next page, you're going to get 10% off the Reach for the Stars dies. And just so you know, a lot of these circles, all of these circles actually coordinate with the Designer Series paper. So you can cut out almost all of the planets from the pages, and it's just really pretty. And also it's just a really good circle set. So I'm keeping mine because I love layering circles. Seasonal branches, you can get 50% off that die set, which makes it $23.50. You can get 20% off the So Refreshing dies, making them $34.40. And then we've got Time Together dies on page 160. You can get 50% off this one, making it $22.50. Again, another set that you don't necessarily have to own the stamp set for. You could just have like a Sands of Time card. Timeless Arrangements dies are going to be 20% off at $38.40. And then we've got the Zany Zoo little critters. They're going to be 30% off at $32.90. Then we're going to go to those individual dies that were not part of a bundle in this catalog. So we've got all that. Those are going to be 40% off, making them $23.40. Artistic dies are going to be 50% off, making them $24. And I love this set. It's so pretty. Like this leaf, beautiful. If you cut it out in gold foil, so nice. Okay, Aspen Tree, this is going to be 40% off at $29.40. And the basic border dies, that makes me sad because I use this one for clouds all the time. They're going to be 40% off at $24. The Brood dies. So again, if you want to make like masculine cards that look like beer cups or wine or things like that, 50% off this set. So $16.50, you can use this one quite a bit even without the stamp set. So consider grabbing that if you need masculine items. Brilliant Backgrounds is 50% off for $23.50. And then we go to page 163. We're going to have 50% off the Chic dies, making them $25.50. 50% off the Christmas pine cones. These ones are so pretty, especially if you use copper foil for your pine cones. So making them $31. Country wreaths are 10% off, making them $48.60. Cracker treat boxes, 20% off, making them $39.20. Dainty Delight is 50% off, making them $24.50. Delightful Doily is 50% off, making that $29. And the Dots and Spots is 40% off, making it $26.40. So lots of things that we're saying goodbye to, but lots of great discounts as well. We are now on page 164. We're going to get a 50% discount on the Give It a Whirl dies, making them $27. You can have a 30% discount on Gorgeous Garden, making them $40.60. A 50% discount on Labels Aglow, making them $22.50. Lighting the Way, you can have a 50% discount, making them $21.50. Love for You are 60% off, making them $17.60. The Meadow are 50% off, making them $26. And these are really nice for backgrounds. The Natural Prints die set is 50% off, making it $25.50. On the Ocean, with that great ship for any little boy's card or masculine card, is $24.50. The Pansy dies, again, great to use even on their own. You don't need to have the stamp set for it. $22. So look on my channel way back, like a couple years ago, because that's when it first came out. I did an entire class about that, and they were so pretty. The Paper Florist dies are 50% off at $25.50. Patchwork Pieces are discontinuing, but no discount. The Petal patterns are 50% off at $31. Still more, I know. 166 is the page that we're on. The reindeer dies are going to be 40% off at $27. Scallop contour dies are 30% off at $33.60. Seaside Bay dies, this stamp set was on sale too. So if the dies are 60% off, and I think the stamp set was 40 or 50% off, that's going to be a really affordable bundle for you. These are $18.80. Then we've got the Sending, so it's 40% off, which makes it $27. Sentiment Silhouettes, they're 50% off, so this is $24. Share a Milkshake, this one I know the stamp set was 50% off, and the dies are 50% off, so $20.50 if you want to add those dies on. Stitched with Whimsy, oh that's sad, is 40% off, making them $24. Sweet Citrus Hybrid Folder is 50% off, making it $22. And the Tree Rings Hybrid Embossing Folder and dies are 60% off, making this set $20.40, which is great because you get an embossing folder and dies in that. The Two-Tone Flora, oh, this one was so pretty. It's a nice background. It's 50% off at $27. And the Waves dies are 50% off at $23.50. Moving to embossing folders. So I'm on page 168 and we are almost done. We have the Cascading Ruffles embossing folder. That's 50% off at $7.50. The Elegant Eucalyptus is 50% off at $7.50. The Geometric Patterns are 40% off at $7.35. Then we're on to the next page. The Painted Posies are going to be 50% off at $7.50. The Quatrefoil Tile is 40% off at $7.80. The Raindrops, I love the Raindrops. 50% off though at $6.50. And again, really, really easy to use on multiple projects in the future. So maybe grab that one. 50% off the Stripes and Splatters, making it $7.50. We did chat about the Sweet Citrus Hybrid at 50% off and the Tree Rings at 50% off already. This Time Worn Type one as well, a really nice background set. It is 40% off, making it $90 for one embossing folder, $9 for that embossing folder. And then the last thing in this catalog would be the Hostess sets. So these are sets that you can purchase if you have an order over $200. You can buy these 2 stamp sets at discounted prices. And of course, those always retire. So Night of Flight and Calm and Quiet will both be retiring. So I am sure you guys are exhausted. We do still have this little catalog to go through, but I'm going to do that on a separate video because I need some more tea and a little break, and I think you guys do too. So just watch for that other link and you can see what's retiring from this catalog. This one will not take as long because it doesn't have as much in it. But I hope this was helpful if you watched to the end because yeah, I always kind of wonder if it is, but sometimes, like, if you're like me, I'm a visual person, it's nice to just see all that, and I hope that you found it helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have an order that you want me to place for you, just message it to me anytime, and I'll get back to you with your total, and I'll get that in for you April 9th, or you can go on my website, learnerbonus.stampinup.net. You can shop now for anything that's not on sale and those in colors, and place an order on April 9th for anything that is going to be discounted for you. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.